Introduction to Vilnius. Located in Europe, Vilnius is the capital city of Lithuania. Recognized as being a country located in the Baltic States region, Vilnius has a complex history with a Roman Catholic heritage considered to date back to the 13th century, with components which have now been accredited as a World Heritage Site. To better understand the influence of tourism to a destination, a PESTEL analysis has been completed alongside a SWOT analysis. Political. Lithuania has only been independent for 30 years. There are current security threats as Russia is attempting to gain intelligence from Lithuanians who are tourists in Russia. Previously, Lithuania was dominated by Russia, and the relationship with Russia is still causing uncertainty for the destination. Economic. Lithuania had a recession in the 1990s. There is a current threat to the country's economy and energy sources due to dependency of Russian imports. Currently, Vilnius buy their energy source from a dominant Russian supplier. The destination currently have concerns about being reliant on Russia again. Social. Lithuanian society is associated with historical trauma and high suicide rates. Vilnius could be branded as a dark tourism destination. This is an opportunity for the destination to attract tourists with an interest in this area. Technological. The current coronavirus pandemic has caused security concerns within Lithuania, as cyber attacks release disinformation. This is a threat to the destination, as tourists may avoid travelling if there are concerns with safety. Environmental. Lithuania are currently facing possible infraction charges after not complying with EU member states' water waste regulations. This is a threat to the destination, as it's causing a negative brand image, and tourists may believe that they do not supply satisfactory facilities. Legal. Lithuania are a part of the European Union, which is an opportunity for the destination to attract citizens within the EU. So this slide shows a SWOT analysis framework of key resources of the destination. It marks expectation scores against actuality scores, and the size of each circle represents the importance of the key resource to myself as a traveller to the destination. Following on from this, I have provided further information regarding the destination's key resources. Accessibility. So my expectation score was a 3, my importance score was a 5, and my actuality score was a 3.5. Vilnius is currently investing in transportation, including rail networks and the airport. Public transport is known to be safe, reliable, and reasonably priced. There are also unconventional transport methods, such as hot air balloons, available to tourists to try. This is that the transportation stops are not tourist friendly, and the information displayed is all in Lithuanian language. So one of the recommendations for accessibility is to introduce more tourist-friendly transportation and ensure that attraction signage is available. This will make it more easy for tourists to travel around the destination. Parks. My expectation score is a 3, my importance score is a 5, and my actuality score is a 5. So strengths. So Vilnius has a lot of green spaces. and the city provides a variety of outdoor sports and activities available to tourists. One of the weaknesses is that the city centre park is situated close to tourist attractions, which may cause overcrowding for people that just want to relax. So my recommendation would be to introduce more recreational areas with refreshment vendors available in close proximity. Festivals and events. My expectation score was a 5, my importance score was a 5, my actuality score was a 3. So strengths. Tourists can be involved in authentic experiences when events are hosted in the city. The weakness is the category of events available to experience is quite niche, and they have quite a traditional or religious background, which may not be appealing to all tourists. So my recommendation is that Vilnius should have a wider calendar of events with more variety of events available year-round, and they could introduce more tourist-friendly events, which will just attract tourists because of the event, much like other countries do, as Germany with Oktoberfest. My expectation score was a 2, my importance score was a 3, my actuality score was a 3. So there are quite a lot of event and conference venues available, which provides flexibility for the business tourist. There's also a calendar of upcoming conferences available in different subject areas. So the weakness is that Lithuania's Expedition and Conference Centre, which may be one of the main attractions for a business tourist, is located outside of the city centre, and it's not easily accessible by public transport, and there are no current hotels nearby. So my recommendation for this area is that Vilnius should invest in city centre divisions, making things in close proximity. They could have a business quarter, a cultural quarter, and a food quarter, such as places like Manchester. This just makes attractions more easier to find by tourists. Accommodation, so my expectation score was a 3.5, importance score was a 5, my actuality score was a 4. So strengths. Vilnius has multinational hotels operating in a central location. They're affordable and they portray the current marketed brand image of the destination very well. The weakness is the accommodation available is targeted for a specific demographic. The multinational hotels aren't that family friendly. So my recommendation is that they should rebrand and invest in hotels to attract different tourist demographic. Culture. Expectation score 4, importance score 3, actuality scores 4.5, so strength. So Vilnius has a very rich cultural background. Cultural attractions can be found all around the streets of Vilnius. The weakness is that as a result of the dynamic history of Vilnius, many artifacts were destroyed. So my recommendations for Vilnius's cultural attractions is that they could expand the day trips available in Vilnius. They could invest in different types of cultural attractions, such as a tourist-friendly river cruise around the city centre. Food and drink. So my expectation score was a 4, my importance score was a 5, my actuality score was a 3. So strengths. There are restaurants available to suit most dietary requirements and price range. Vilnius offers both authentic Lithuanian and modern cuisine, and there is an indoor food market used by both locals and tourists. Weaknesses. So restaurant recommendations are extremely broad when researching prior to visiting the destination. And my recommendations are to introduce an international food market or event which may attract more tourists, because the current indoor food market is more traditional Lithuanian food.